What?
Not going anywhere at the minute.
Yeah, I'm not going detained.
Yeah.
Reggie is immediately pressed for his details on the basis that he appears suspicious in a high-crime area. When you strip the phrase of its drama, the behavior is laughably thin. All Reggie did was turn away. And why? Because one of the officers approached him in plain clothes, tattoos visible, a scruffy beard, and no clear indication of authority. The kind of appearance that would make any reasonable person create distance. That reaction is not evasive, it is instinctive. What is troubling is how the officers flip it. Their colleagues' intimidating presence becomes the very reason Reggie is treated as suspicious. Instead of recognizing how they are being perceived, they weaponize that perception to justify the stop. Reggie walked the bike up the stairs, then immediately pivot to, "I suspect you of riding it," followed by the even more concerning claim, "You are going to ride it at some point." That is not suspicion. It is speculation. Policing does not operate on predictions about what someone might do later. You cannot detain individuals for hypothetical future behavior. Then the detention is suddenly framed under Section 50 of the Police Reform Act, a power that only applies after an actual offense has occurred and when an officer reasonably believes a person has engaged in antisocial behavior. That is the key point. Without an offense, Section 50 does not apply. You cannot block someone's exit and then manufacture grounds to demand their name simply because you do not like them disengaging.
And what do you suspect me of doing?
Officer cannot justify the stop, so he shifts to questioning motive, effectively accusing Reggie of baiting the police. That accusation is not evidence-based, it is an attempt to delegitimize someone who refuses to comply quietly. When Reggie challenges this, he is immediately told to shut up, which makes it clear the objective was never dialogue or resolution. But the most revealing line in the entire exchange is, "I can talk to you how I like." That is not authority. It is contempt. Police powers do not include the right to verbally dominate or degrade members of the public, particularly when no wrongdoing has occurred. Speaking in that manner is not about maintaining order. It is about asserting power and daring someone to challenge it.
Well, you're a fool then.
Final interaction captures the plainclothes officer perfectly. Reggie asks a straightforward question. How long was he detained? Before the female officer can respond, the same officer interrupts, cuts her off, and sharply states, "You can go." When Reggie explains why he is asking, the response is not impatience or confusion, it is outright contempt. "I'm not asked." That is not an offhand remark. It reflects a clear attitude. Once the officer decides the encounter is over, he shows no interest in procedure, clarity, or even basic courtesy. Looking back at the encounter as a whole, the common thread is not suspicion, it is substitution. Each time a clear justification is required, something weaker is substituted. Turning away becomes intent. Walking a bike becomes future wrongdoing. And when challenged, explanation gives way to attitude. The plainclothes officer does not anchor his decisions to events. He anchors them to how he feels about Reggie not complying. That is why the ending unfolds the way it does. The officer does not care how long Reggie was detained because, in his view, the stop no longer needs to make sense once it is over. The power has been exercised, the disruption imposed, and that to him is enough. When policing reaches a point where officers feel no obligation to explain, justify, or even properly conclude an interaction, the danger is not just that innocent people are stopped. It is that those carrying out the stops no longer believe they owe anyone an explanation at all. That is it for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps support independent coverage. Also, be sure to check out Reggie. His channel is linked in the description. Show him some support. Thanks for watching. This has been Rate the Encounters, and I will see you in the next one.